welcome to another special episode of the Anime Magica podcast. As always, I am your humble host, Jack. With me is my lovely co-host,
Ryu. What's up, guys? I'm back. We're back once again with a fantastic video for you guys.
All right, awesome. So today we're going to be talking about a pretty awesome double feature of movies today. But before we get into that, let me ask you something, my lovely co-host. Have you been paying attention about this new Snow White remake?
Wait, they're finally doing it now?
They were going to release a Snow White movie next year, but it got delayed till 2025.
Well, let me guess. They tried to change the characters. They tried to change Snow White into a black lady. They're trying to make the story different, and they tried to do add a little extra songs that will ruin the whole entire movie, right?
Well, you're not too far off from your predictions.
Oh yeah.
So Snow White is not going to be played by a white actress, but she's not going to be playing. She's not going to be played by a black actress neither. So
that's different.
Snow White is going to be played by Rachel Segler. Rachel Segler is a Colombian American actress.
Ooh.
So this time Snow White is going to be portrayed by a Latina. Also,
Hey, you gotta love the Latinas. Yeah, you gotta love them.
yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
And also Gal Gadot, the actress who portrays Wonder Woman, will be playing the evil queen in this version.
She's gonna be so hot.
Sure.
I had to say it because I know some people will be thinking about it.
So Gal Gadot is going to be playing the evil queen, and the movie was originally scheduled to be released next year. But unfortunately, due to a lot of controversies behind the scenes, the movie has been delayed till next year. And so here's what kind of went down. So the movie originally was not going to include the Seven Dwarfs in this remake.
What?
Yeah, so
How can you make a Snow White when we without the Seven Dwarfs?
So in the minds of Disney executives, they felt that including the Seven Dwarfs was going to be too controversial and too off-putting for today's audiences.
The hell?
And so their fears of backlash were confirmed when later the actor from Game of Thrones, Peter Dinklage, who also is a small person actor, he came out publicly and said that he thought that it would be wrong for Disney to include little people, to cast little people as the dwarves, because he felt that that was offensive to little people. And so Disney, instead of writing the story around Snow White meeting seven dwarves, instead she's going to be meeting seven magical people.
The hell?
Yeah, and only one of those magical people is going to be a dwarf. The six other characters are going to be like other different types of magical people. What these magical people are, we don't really know, but that was sort of like the rumor that was going around town.
Wait,
but
how is that even gonna work? They had to change the entire story to make them fit in. Because if you know the original Snow White, the seven dwarves were out mining ores. Go back home.
Well, diamonds, specifically diamonds.
Yeah, diamonds. But I like to say ores because
hi ho, it's off to work we go.
Hi ho.
Oh damn!
I know the song.
Awesome.
So that's what's the original. What the seven dwarves were. They go mine for diamond, go back home, and they meet Snow White.
Yes.
But the magical people. Really? What are they going to do? They had to change the entire thing for them to fit.
So here's my theory. If Disney had it their way, the seven magical people wouldn't be like miners of any kind. They would be off in the woods doing some other random bullshit that doesn't even make any sense. That's my theory.
It would have made the movie worse, honestly.
Exactly.
Would have made it worse.
So I sent you two photos earlier, and one of the photos is a leaked photo of what the seven magical people were going to be. Do you have any thoughts on how they looked?
I just thought it looked weird. Like,
yeah, very weird. Like,
it's just one is actually a Thor. One has a stick with an afro. There's a guy with a bandana, blonde as hell, with look properly dressed. One looks like a fucked up pirate.
Yeah.
And one looks like hippie black man.
Yeah.
Hippie black woman. And a guy just looked like Jesus.
Yeah, so these characters really don't feel like they fit in the world of Snow
No,
White.
they do not.
And because they look like rejects from a Renaissance fair essentially.
Yes, yes.
And and I just don't get this whole like idea of like preemptively avoiding controversy because here's the thing. Are you familiar with a actor slash celebrity named Wee Man?
Wee Man? No, I do not.
So Wee Man is actually part of the Jackass crew. So like all those movies like, "Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass." Well, Wee Man is part of the Jackass crew, and he's been with the Jackass crew since the beginning. And he's also a little person, and he also from time to time he acts in people's projects. And so they interviewed him a few months ago, and they were asking him about the controversy about Snow White, and he says, "Yeah, fuck Disney. Disney should have casted 7 little people. Like, what better opportunity do 7 little people have to be in a Hollywood movie?" And that's kind of the thing.
True,
It's like by being progressive one way, you were being digressive the other way because you just took away 6 other roles for 6 other little people. And I think maybe if Disney wanted to be extra progressive, what they should have done is that they should have still casted little people in the role. Instead of all the dwarves being white, maybe cast like a black dwarf, a Latino dwarf, something, you know?
yes, like
Maybe even make one of the dwarves female. Make Dopey a female. Who knows? I think if Disney I think maybe if Disney did that, maybe people wouldn't have been so like angry and ready to hate the movie because Rachel Zegler, she's not a white woman, and when she was announced that she was casted in the movie, not a lot of people like not a lot of people threw like a bitch fit about it. Some people were pretty okay with her being in the role, and nobody complained when Gal Gadot was casted as the evil queen. But that's because I guess like a lot of people just love Gal Gadot so much. But did you see that other photo I sent you?
yes, I see it.
And
It's,
so
it
what?
is actually
so what'd
the
you think?
dwarves. It's actually the dwarves. I'm happy to see that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm assuming they're not little people because they look animated.
Well, no, it was okay. So Disney finally released an official first photo of what the movie is going to look like. So in this photo, you see a picture of Snow White sitting in the center of the room, and she's surrounded by the 7 dwarves. So no longer is the movie going to include the 7 magical people. And so she's surrounded by dwarves, and they look very CGI rendered. So they don't look like little people at all. So now the 7 dwarves are just going to be CGI, probably motion captured.
Where was this when Lion King was coming out? Because Lion King would have been way better if they done what they're doing right now for the dwarves.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so now Disney is like completely like retooling the whole movie to instead switch out the 7 magic people and include now the 7 dwarves. So now the movie is delayed for a whole year.
It should, because I have bet if they would have done their original plan, it would have went shit well. They would have wasted a lot of money.
Well, they probably already wasted a lot of money to begin with, because not only that, so a lot of times these Disney remake movies, they cost over $200 million. And so most likely whatever footage that they already shot with the 7 magical people, they probably already paid those actors for their work. So Disney has probably already sank in like a whole $200 million into this project. And now they're probably going to spend like another like maybe 150 to reanimate the existing footage. And maybe they're also going to reshoot like maybe the ending, or maybe reshoot some of the action, or multiple parts of the movie are going to be reshot just so everything can flow better in the edit. In the final edit of the movie. And so I guess, Disney really fucked up with this one this time. And so and it cost them, and it seems like it's gonna cost them a lot of money to fix this problem, which they could have easily avoided if maybe they just casted real little person actors instead of doing this 7 magical people bullshit.
Uh-huh.
And then now like all the people on Twitter who hate on Disney, because there's like a lot of people on Twitter who are like conservative and whatnot, and they're always bitching about Disney including a gay character, or Disney doing films about other races and stuff like that. and and now this news they basically have a field day with this news. Like they're going on about go woke or go broke, and it's like, God damn it, Disney, you fucking stepped in the shit this time. Anyway, any final thoughts on Snow White?
Just they should have just followed the original movie, and nothing would have been happened.
All right.
They would have not wasted a lot of money, but since they did, they're dumbasses.
Yeah. So, my lovely co-host. So, with that being said, let's jump into the feature presentation of this episode. So, my lovely co-host. So, we watched a special pair of movies this time around.
Yes, we did.
And yeah, so this time we watched two movies, a back-to-back feature of Jackie Chan's Police Story 1 and 2.
Yes.
And it was quite an interesting experience revisiting these movies.
For me, this was the first time I ever watched them.
Right. And so let's get into what these movies are about. So let's start off with Police Story 1. All right, so Police Story 1 from 1985 is a movie directed by Jackie Chan, also starring Jackie Chan as Officer Chan. So in this movie, Jackie Chan plays a police officer who, at the beginning of the movie, is able to thwart out a drug deal from these gangsters. And so because he's able to stop the drug lord, he gets promoted, or he gets a special assignment to bodyguard the star witness of the trial. But when things go awry and he fails to take the star witness to the trial, the drug lord decides that he wants to put out a hit on both the star witness and Jackie Chan's character. And so now it's up to Jackie Chan to save both himself and the star witness against this ruthless gang of drug lords. So that is the basic plot of Police Story 1. So let me ask you this, my lovely co-host. What did you think about Jackie Chan's Police Story 1?
It was good. It was very entertaining. A lot of action, a lot of realism. Like somewhat, but like the acting of some people, like rookies, like in the police scene where they were trying to bust the drug lord.
Yeah.
There was a scene where there was an officer that looked like he was not ready for that, for what was gonna happen. Like it showed realism that your first time in a gunfight, you don't want to die, and you like shake and trying to shoot and keep shooting even though you're out of bullets and you piss yourself. Like all right, yeah, that's real. There's a lot of rookie officers that do that sometimes.
Yeah.
But also, I really like how he performs all the stunts himself.
Yeah, really great stunts in this first movie. Yeah. Anything else that stood out to you about this movie?
Just the stunts alone, like all the stunts, they do it themselves. They don't have
everything is real. Like this is made way before like CGI was a thing.
Yeah, it was like all the like after the movie ended, they showed the clips of them like getting into injuries, them hurting themselves, them going to hospitals after like the stunt going off.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was like, Jesus Christ, they were actually doing these things and they were actually getting hurt. Blood, they showed actual blood coming out from these actors. Like, Jesus Christ, then why do them?
Yeah, in a Jackie Chan movie, so many people get fucking hurt. You have to be a very special type of like actor or stunt performer to be in a Jackie Chan movie. Yeah, but no, the stunts are really great. Is there like a particular action scene or a particular stunt that really like you like or stood out to you in any way?
Let's see. I'm trying to remember because I'm trying not to mix up Police Story 2.
One of my favorites is the bus sequence when he's chasing the drug lord at the beginning.
Oh yeah,
and he climbs on the bus. That is like one of my favorite like say like action sequences of all time.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Yeah,
but there was one I was trying to remember. Oh, the mall scene when he jumped in the
the mall scene where he slides down like the chandelier in the middle of the mall. Yeah, now that one was a particularly brutal scene because I don't know if you knew this. Jackie Chan actually dislocated his pelvis while performing that stunt because if you watch the movie, he jumps from like 2 or 3 stories like above. He slides down on a pole, but as he's sliding down, the chandelier is covered in all these like lights. So he's breaking like all these lights and all this glass is like falling on him. And then at the bottom, it's like a little like patio or a little gazebo, and he breaks through that, and he falls like square on his ass. So you would imagine, he's falling on his ass and he breaks his fucking pelvis. And yeah, that was a particularly like nasty like injury he got while performing that stunt. But no, that's a really great stunt. One thing that I really like about Jackie Chan's action scenes, especially like the final action scene, he always does something big and spectacular. Because also, like, I'm going to skip ahead to Police Story 2, like, just really quickly. At the end of Police Story 2, they blow up an actual building, and the explosion is an actual explosion. So they basically blew up, like, this big-ass, like, fireworks factory. And so that's one of the things that I really like about Jackie Chan's movies, is, like, it always ends in something big and spectacular. Another Jackie Chan stunt that I really like in the end is that there's a movie called Rumble in the Bronx. And in Rumble in the Bronx, have you ever seen like those big ships that are like it's a hovercraft? Have you ever seen one of those big hovercrafts like on the water?
Yes, I do.
And so basically at the end of that movie, he basically chases this big hovercraft all over the city, not just on water, but on land. But Jackie Chan, he's really great at just creating a great like final like fight or final stunt sequence in his movies. But let's talk about the story of Police Story 1. So rewatching Police Story 1, I realized that there's parts of this movie that I didn't like.
Like the comedy, just straight up comedy with no action. Because I know Jackie Chan is well known for making comedy and action together and make it feel real.
Yeah.
But just straight comedy when all the movie's all about action and suspense.
Yeah.
It didn't really feel right, because if you saw me when I saw him doing just comedy stuff alone, I just cringed like, why they're doing that? No, don't do that.
Yeah, because Police Story 1 has like a really like imbalance of both action and comedy. And like you mentioned, Jackie Chan is known for mixing comedy and action very well. But for Police Story 1, I forgot that a big chunk of the movie actually has like very little action in it, because during this part, so after like the beginning like mission, after the beginning action sequence, the movie transitions to Jackie Chan being the bodyguard of the star witness of the police department's case. And because of that, Jackie Chan gets into a lot of weird, awkward hijinks with this star witness. And so this witness is the secretary of the drug boss, of the crime boss. And so Jackie Chan has to protect her from getting basically assassinated by the drug lord to prevent her from testifying in court. And so there's a lot of like awkward like comedy set pieces like early on in that part of the movie. There's a part where Jackie Chan and her are in her apartment, and some guy breaks into the witness's apartment, and he's wearing like this fake ass Michael Myers. No. Yeah, he's wearing like this fake ass Michael Myers costume.
No, that's so cringe.
And yeah, and it's a very like odd and like unfunny sequence, because you get right away that she's not in real danger. Like this is like all a setup.
Yes.
Because it's Jackie Chan. He hired one of his police department buddies to act like a fake ass Michael Myers to try to scare her, to make her have more confidence and more trust in Jackie Chan's character. But that sequence takes like so long to like get through, and it just keeps going on and on and on until they finally leave the apartment. And after they leave the apartment in the movie, they have a pretty awesome fight scene where Jackie Chan is trying to defend her from the actual assassins who are ambushing them in the parking lot. And that was actually a pretty cool scene. But then after that, we get another cringy scene in Jackie Chan's apartment, because he decided to bring her over to his apartment so that he could protect her or whatever. I don't know.
Protect her more in his territory, basically. But when he went to the apartment, he forgot it was his birthday, and his girlfriend and the family ruined surprise. So when he brought the witness he was supposed to protect, over to the house in a skimpy little dress in her pajamas, the girlfriend thought that he was cheating on her.
Mm-hmm.
And it just goes through a whole thing of just misunderstood and everything. It just went
Yeah, a
through
lot
a
of
whole
misunderstandings. Jackie Chan gets hit in the face with cakes, like I think like 3 times, like in that whole sequence.
Yeah, 3 times in that whole sequence. It was very dumb. I like, okay,
Yeah.
one cake is fine and a misunderstanding with a girlfriend is okay with a witness, but making it
Yeah.
into a freaking more of a comedy and everything,
Yeah.
it did not feel right
And my
because it was way too
yeah.
much.
And my problem with both the fake ass Michael Myers and the birthday scene is that they just keep going on and on and on and on, and they just keep like repeating like these jokes. And then also like after that scene, the day after is the day of the court, the day of the trial. And so Jackie Chan fails to bring the star witness over to testify. So then he has to testify in her place. He just ends up making the police look bad, and he makes the drug lord go free, essentially. And so he ruins the case.
Yeah, he ruined the case, and then he gets demoted and transferred to a different police station.
Yeah, so essentially he gets transferred to the country. So
yeah,
in the
the
movie,
sticks they called it.
yeah, in the sticks. So at the beginning of the movie, he's part of the Hong Kong Police Department, but then because he fucked up so royally with the star witness, they send him out to the boonies, to the sticks. And and actually there was actually one bit of comedy that I did like. When he arrives to the country police station, he steps on some cow shit. And he steps on some cow shit and he tries to rub it off, and then he ends up like doing like a Michael Jackson like moonwalk.
Yeah, it's like I could have really ticket on you for that.
What?
No, you didn't hear that Jackie Chan looks at the cow like, I could write you a ticket.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, because in this part there's actually quite a bit of comedy still, and then there's even like a comedic part in the police station where Jackie Chan is like answering phones because he's been demoted from like, you know, detective to just like the guy answering phones. So he's just answering like all these phones from people, and then he's just doing like this comedy bit where he's just going from desk to desk, rolling around in his chair, in his swivel chair, answering phones, and at the same time he's also trying to eat his ramen. And he ends up doing something pretty disgusting where he ends up eating his ramen with 2 pencils as chopsticks.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah. It's pretty cringe, but also you gotta admire Jackie Chan to his commitment to doing physical comedy.
Yep.
But then after this scene, in my opinion, the movie really starts to pick up more and more, where we get actually more action scenes and more story going on. And so here's sort of like my problem with like Police Story 1. I wish that Police Story 1 was more focused on the actual like story instead of trying to shoehorn in a bunch of gags. Because one time I heard that the best way to write a comedy is to write the comedy as sort of like a drama first, and then you add jokes on top of it. Like, don't write scenes just for there to just be a joke. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so I felt that maybe if Police Story 1 just focused completely on just like the case, just like on investigating the crime and trying to put this drug lord away, the movie could have been a much more better, much more solid, more in terms of story structure, a more better movie. And you know, I did, and like you, I did cringe at those comedy bits.
Yes. And you know one thing I took notice?
What? What'd you notice?
Like, his girlfriend's always in a scene with him.
Yes.
Like, even though she's not supposed to be there, she's there.
Well, I mean, you know, I don't know. I didn't really have a problem with that.
No, because
well, but what's your point? What's wrong
point,
with
like,
him?
And in number 2,
Yeah.
She's there when he's working,
Mm-hmm.
and she's there when he's dealing with a case.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every time he's in a situation, she's always there to
Mhm.
cause problems
Oh,
later on.
Yeah. Well, she's there to like add like some drama, or maybe to like add like some kind of like comedic payoff or something like that. I don't know. I really like her. The actress's name, who portrays Jackie Chan's actress in both movies, her name is Maggie Cheung. And Maggie Cheung in both movies, she does a really good job. I'm trying to remember because these two are not the only Police Story movies.
Yes, there are others.
Yeah, because I think there's at least 5 or 6. I've only seen 1 through 4, and I remember in 4, I believe she was there at the beginning of 4, but we don't really see her throughout the rest of. I mean, not the beginning of 4. We see her a lot in the beginning of 3. But not for the rest of the movie, because Jackie Chan in that movie partners up with another female cop, played by Oscar winner Michelle Yeoh. But Jackie Chan, he I don't know, her Maggie Chung, who plays the girlfriend, and I think the name of the girlfriend's name is May. I liked her. I think she did a very good job. She was very adorable in the role.
Yes, she was. I'm not disagreeing on that. But...
Yeah, because usually like the girlfriend character usually is like super hella annoying, but I think they find a right balance with her in this movie. Well, in these 2 movies. But let's talk about like the last like sort of like bit. So in the last part of the movie, so Jackie Chan actually gets framed for murder in Police Story 1.
Yes.
Because there's a police officer in the movie who is in cahoots with the drug lord. And we actually see at the beginning of the movie that this police officer left his post and let the bad guys get away because he was working with the drug lord throughout the whole movie. And so he leads Jackie Chan to a house, to a villa where the star witness is being kept, because she was kidnapped by the drug lord, and the drug lord ordered his thugs to kill both Jackie Chan and the star witness. So Jackie Chan ends up sneaking into the house. He beats up a couple of guys, and it's a pretty good action scene. But then we later find out that this one cop he's a snake. He's a Judas. He's a betrayer.
He's a corrupt cop.
Exactly. And so Jackie Chan is able to get the star witness to escape by throwing her off the roof and making her jump into a pool. So she escapes, but Jackie Chan is not so lucky. He gets chloroformed, and they take him to a field, an empty field, and right next to him is his gun, which happens to be the gun that killed the police officer. So now the law thinks that he is a murderer. So Jackie Chan ends up going back to his police station, and he goes not to turn himself in, but to try to explain himself to his superiors. And luckily, both his superiors believe that he is not, that he is innocent. But because of the law, they still have to bring him in. So Jackie Chan ends up actually taking his superior, his police chief, into hostage. And I want to add something about this movie that I noticed. The police chief looks like a Chinese Ben Shapiro. So Jackie Chan goes to his police station. He kidnaps Chinese Ben Shapiro, and he ends up escaping from the police. And he goes on a hot pursuit to find the star witness again, and B, prove that he is innocent, and to take down the real criminals. And so the movie basically ends with this really awesome mall fight. And I just want to talk about like how awesome this scene is, because this scene, oh my God, so much fucking glass breaking in this final action scene.
There was a lot of glass breaking. It will make sense because they're in a mall, and
it just makes the action just so much more cooler, because people are being thrown into display cases. People are smashing
their faces in it.
Yeah, they're smashing
punching
their faces.
It out.
Exactly.
Being tossed in, spinning, crushing vehicles in.
Exactly.
Like, it's so much. Like so much glass was broken.
Yeah,
during that entire scene.
Yeah, and you can actually and just like in the movie, the way that the action scenes are shot, you really feel like the pain that these actors are going through.
Yes.
And especially Jackie Chan, one of the great things about him is him and his action scenes.
That he takes time to make it work.
Not just that, but also his facial expressions. The faces that he makes when he's getting hit or throwing a punch, just like, it's so impeccable. I wish that a lot more action stars would really put some effort into like their acting while they're also fighting. And I think that's one of the reasons why Jackie Chan is so popular and why people like him so much, is just like the expressiveness in his face when he's fighting. And it's so good. What are some of your favorite like moments in that mall action fight, except for like the chandelier? Besides the chandelier, what are some of your favorite moments?
Jackie Chan finally gets revenge from the
drug lord.
Yeah, while
he punches him in the stomach.
Yeah, punching him several times in the stomach. Punched the lawyer right in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Like he gets revenge, and the police and the superiors look at it. I won't write anything down if you didn't write anything down.
Oh yeah, that's actually an example of comedy that actually works. When you do like actual subtle comedy, and that's what I mean. If the movie was more about the case and more about the police work, and then every once in a while people are like cracking jokes here and there, that works so much more better.
That worked so well when he said that. Like, he's gonna let it slide.
Exactly. One of my favorite moments. Well, I have several moments. I like the bit where like Jackie Chan, there's like these clothes. They're hanging on like a rack, and the rack has wheels.
To fight.
So he spins around to defend himself, but also to do some offense on his opponent. There's also that scene where like he's being chased by the guy in the motorcycle. And so the guy in the motorcycle is chasing him around, and he rolls on the floor, and the floor happens to have like some steps. So he rolls down the steps, and the motorcycle just barely misses him. And then Jackie Chan is able to get the motorcycle away from the bad guy, and he uses it to like crush the bad guy up against the wall. That's also pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Another memorable scene in that mall action fight is when he kicks the guy and he falls in between the escalators. Remember that?
Yeah, when that happened, I said that was dangerous.
Exactly. Like, and that's the thing. It's like one thing I really love about Jackie Chan's action scenes is that you really feel that the characters are getting hurt. You really feel like every like impact, every fall. And like I think that's one of the reasons what makes Jackie Chan such a great action director. But yeah, so that mall action scene was really great. So anything else that you want to mention about Police Story 1 before we go into Police Story 2?
I just love the story, the comedy, like, oh my god, like the sus shit. Like, come on, that's so fucking cringe. But everything else was still good. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was a good story. It showed that Jackie Chan was a badass. It showed that he rose from being the low tier worker to a high tier worker at the end. The rise of the underdog. I really like that. The fighting scenes, everything. It like everything was good. I liked it.
I still enjoy it. I still respect the movie a lot. I don't think, because I watched this movie when I was younger. And, when you're younger, everything is more like, you're not as critical. But I think now watching it again, I definitely, the rose-colored glasses definitely came off this time around. I still really enjoy the film. I still wish that the film maybe didn't focus so much on comedy and focus more on the plot and more on the action scenes. But, it's still a really good movie. And I would recommend people watching it at least once in their lifetime. Or if you're like a martial arts fan or a Jackie Chan fan, definitely take a watch. It's a good movie. But also I think one thing we forgot to mention is the end credits. One thing that's great about Police Story 1 and 2, the end credits, all of it is like outtakes and behind the scenes of the movie. Did you remember the end credits of the movies?
Yeah, it just showed like the messed ups, the incidents.
Yeah, and it showed you like different angles of different stunts because one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of the movie, there's a scene where Jackie Chan and the villains are like driving and destroying like this shanty town at the beginning of the movie, and they actually destroy this fucking like little town in the movie, and so you actually get to see like some of the cars like flip over, which they did not include in the movie
because it was not supposed to happen.
Yeah, because it's not supposed to happen. And then we actually get to see like the moment where like Jackie Chan falls from the chandelier, and they pick him up, and like the crew like runs over and picks him up, and they're fanning him, try to keep him awake and stuff. And it's and it just goes to show like the amount of effort, commitment, and risk that these actors took to, make this movie. One thing I also wanted to mention is like we watched the Uncharted movie last year, and we did an episode on it. And I mentioned to you that there were some sequences in the movie Uncharted that seemed a little bit too close to Police Story. Do you remember that?
Yes, I did remember you mentioning that, and at the time I didn't know what Police Story was.
Because there's a scene in like a museum or like an auction house, and Tom Holland is like swinging on these chandeliers and doing like all this Jackie Chan shit. And I actually read somewhere that the director of the Uncharted movie is actually a big fan. So it wasn't him like ripping off Police Story. It was him paying homage to the Police Story movies.
He was like, "Here, Jackie Chan, I like your movies, and I'm gonna use one scene as inspiration."
Yeah, so let's get into Police Story 2. All right, so Police Story 2 was released in 1988, 3 years after the original. This one is also directed by Jackie Chan, and we do actually get a few returning cast members from the original movie. So in this movie, Jackie Chan, after the events of Police Story 1, he is once again placed in a different department in the police department. So instead of being an inspector or a detective, he is now a traffic cop. Much to the delightment of his girlfriend, May, who is happy that he's no longer being sent out on dangerous assignments and they get to spend more time together. But at the same time, Jackie Chan is being harassed by the bad guys of the original movie. So while Jackie Chan is being harassed and bullied by the bad guys of the first movie, at the same time, there is a plot going around the city of this group of terrorists blowing up buildings and shopping centers and causing all kinds of havoc and destruction. And so,
the terrorist scenes when he blew up the mall.
Exactly, and very good explosion scenes in this movie too. So now it's up to Jackie Chan and an undercover team of police officers to find who's responsible for all these bombings.
Well, can we talk about the scene for the mall?
Go ahead and talk about it because I'm done recapping the plot.
So the scene I really like at the mall is the point where Jackie Chan like officially quits the police station because he wants to be spending time with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So when they went to the mall to get ready for a trip they were going to go out to, they were officers saw that Jackie Chan was there.
Yeah.
Because they know that he was an officer and his past police work was impressive, so they want their input on the endeavor because since he was a high respected worker. So they asked him to go to a secluded area so they could talk, saying that they got a bomb threat in the mall, saying that if 10 minutes, if they're not out of the mall, they would blow up the mall.
Yeah.
So they don't know if it was a hoax or not. So Jackie Chan took responsibility and say, all right, where's the fire alarm? Let's activate that and get everyone out.
Yeah.
If it's a hoax, at least everyone is safe. If anything goes wrong, I can take the blame. So they did as Jackie Chan said. They go turn on the fire alarm to get everyone to evacuate immediately. Everyone was confused.
Yeah.
Like they say, what's going on? There's no fire. So Jackie Chan had to, again, go to the speaker, tell everyone get out. The building is on fire. Everyone leave, get out in an orderly fashion. So everyone leaves. The fire department was called. The police department was called. And the bomb squad was called as well.
Yes.
And when they were at the scene, the supervisor that was Jackie Chan's supervisor went to
Chinese Ben Shapiro.
Yes. Went up and told him, so who pulled out the fire alarm? Like he did. Like I did. And like it better not be a hoax. If it's a hoax, you're gonna get your ass yelled.
Oh my God. Because when that scene happened, I almost had a Homer Simpson moment. Because there's a scene in The Simpsons where like the Simpsons are watching a cop show. And it's just a cliche of like in a cop show or a cop movie where like the chief or the superintendent like goes up to the main character and he yells him, chews out his ass. And you always want to go, stop yelling at him. He gets results, you stupid chief.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. So when the chief's like, you better be better thing is not if the bomb squad didn't see it, finds anything, I'm gonna yell at your ass. Basically,
he gets results, you stupid chief.
I know, right? So before they could even done that, everyone was like talking about what's going on. I don't think it's gonna be a host. Someone's gonna get yelled at. Someone's getting fired. Like everyone's talking about this was a whole big host. Before the bomb squad even got a chance to go in the building to search, it blew up.
Oh.
And you can see the chief looks at the building like, holy fuck, he was right. Holy shit. Okay. And then he goes to the fire department like, get the fire out. Because they were there first before the police chief. And it said, we searched the entire building. There's no fire here.
There's no bomb.
There's no. When they came here, there's no fire because they put the fire alarm saying there was a fire in the building first. So when the police ship finally showed up, and the fire department, they say there's no fire here, and the police say stay here. We will let you know if we need you. So and then when the fire blew up, the sheep looked at the fire department saying, "Go, take it out, take it out, take it out." So it was a very unique scene of Jackie Chan was gonna get chewed out for a hoax. Wasn't a hoax. Got the chief to like saying, "Oh shit, it was not a hoax," and everyone got out to work. It was like an amazing scene where Jackie Chan was a hero without being in uniform.
Yeah, and so because of that, the chief and the other superior convince him to to come back to the police station, but they do it at the wrong time. They convince him to come back to the police department while he's getting on a plane to go on vacation with his girlfriend, and because of that, he ends up leaving his girlfriend at the airport. And he goes on to do some investigation for the police. And later on in the movie, the girlfriend comes back and yells at him, and Jackie Chan has to convince her to forgive him and all that stuff. And they're in a park at night. And then one of the guys from earlier in the movie who's harassing Jackie Chan comes back and he squirts him with a water gun. And so Jackie Chan, annoyed, he goes running after him and he ends up in a playground. And he ends up getting in a fight with these bunch of guys, and they're trying to beat him with some metal pipes and stuff. And actually this park scene is probably like my other favorite like action scene that Jackie Chan has done, because it is so inventive and it's so cool how like he uses like the play equipment to like dodge and fight his assailants. And it's really cool. Like and the cool part of the movie, or the cool part of the scene, where like he's finally able to take away one of their metal pipes and he uses it to beat up that one guy. And it's just really cool how like that choreography is, because he's almost like on his knees, but he's like smacking the guy both like in his back, on his legs, and then finally he's able to throw it at another guy. It's a really cool sequence. What did you think about that playground fight scene?
It was very interesting. At the first half, I thought they were using blades.
Oh my God.
But once I saw them holding it still for once, I was like, oh, there are poles.
Yeah, because I kept telling you that there were poles. They weren't blades. You kept insisting that they were blades. And you were saying like, oh, but a pole won't do the swoosh, swoosh sound. And I'm like, dude, have you never heard of Foley sound replacement or sound effects?
Yes, I have. But I was so into thinking it was actual blades. And then when I saw them actually holding it still for a moment, I was like, oh, they're actually poles. Okay, you're right.
Yeah, they probably used like another sound effect because because I don't know if you know this, like in a lot of movies and a lot of TV shows, whenever you hear a sound effect, usually the thing that they use to make the sound effect is not the actual thing you see on screen. For example, like I think about like the famous like Star Wars, like when they shoot the lasers, like the pew pew. Yeah, exactly. You know how like they achieve that sound? The sound designer got like these metal cables, and he would put like different things on the metal cables, like different like bolts and stuff, and then he would hit them with like a hammer or something, and then that's what would make the sounds of the laser blast. So what you're seeing, so on screen you're seeing a laser blast, but you're not actually hearing like the sound of the laser.
Yeah.
Or like for example like Godzilla's roar, like his famous like roar.
Yes.
That was, that's not an animal roar. That was the sound designer. He got an upright bass, or I think a cello, like one of those big instruments, like one of those big stringed instruments. He put on a leather glove, and he rubbed his leather glove up and down the strings to create the sound.
Really?
Yeah. So like I'm telling you, like in movies and TVs, usually what you hear on screen, and usually like the thing that's being Foleyed was not made with the thing that you think it was made with, like in terms of like the sound effects. But anyway, let's continue on. So the movie goes on. Jackie Chan is investigating the bombings, and he later finds out that the bombings are caused by this group of terrorist thugs. And so as he's what am I trying to say? And so as he's investigating, the bad guys are closing in on him, and they actually kidnapped his girlfriend. And so Jackie Chan has to go and save her, but he gets captured and tortured in front of her. And so eventually the bad guys agree to let go of Jackie Chan and his girlfriend if Jackie Chan becomes like their suicide bomber essentially. And so Jackie Chan has to find a way to get the vest off of him and go save his girlfriend, which he eventually does. And the movie ends in another spectacular fight scene in the fireworks factory. So, you know, another Simpsons reference. When are they going to get to the fireworks factory?
Yes, when they were fighting and they were using fireworks and blowing each other on fire, you said that a couple of times. When would you get to the fireworks factory? And then after a while, I said it back, like, when are you going to get to the fireworks factory?
Yes. So the movie ends with a spectacular fight scene. Jackie Chan takes care of all of the villains. There's some pretty impressive stunts in this one. I will say one thing about Police Story 2. I did feel that Police Story 2 did not have as memorable fight scenes or as memorable stunts compared to Police Story 1, but I still liked quite a few of them, and I do like that final action scene. And especially the explosion. They actually, you know, blew up that location, that big factory that they were fighting in. And you can actually see in the behind the scenes in the end credits that, you know, they're actually it's the crew. The crew is putting out the fire. Because it was actual, because this is before special effects, because special effects really didn't become like a big thing until after Jurassic Park.
Ah, yes. Yeah, I really like when they show the scenes where they actually like put out things out. They got injured in some things. Like they show like very much big concern everything that happens. They make sure they take care of it immediately. They don't like laugh at all, like, this one got hurt again. All right, come on, let's patch you up. No, they actually like run towards to the person and actually help the person get patched up.
Exactly. And so that's basically what Police Story 2 is about. So let's talk about how we felt about it. How did you feel about Police Story 2? Did you like it?
It was very interesting. Yes, I liked it. They show reference from the first movie of the guys out of prisons because they had 3 months to live.
Yeah.
All that. And then after, like in part of the movie, they go back to that crime.
Yeah.
To that guy with him extremely sick.
Yeah.
About to die.
Yeah, it's so, I don't know. It's like I've never seen that in a movie before where like they bring back the villain only for him to only to reveal that he only has like 3 months to live. And basically like their whole plan, like for those villains of the movie, is just to fuck around with Jackie Chan.
Yeah, to just fuck with him.
So you liked it. I liked it too. I just wish that there was more like impressive like fight scenes or stunts, because I wouldn't say that this one has more impressive fight scenes. I will say that the one fight scene that I really like is the playground one, because also in that one there's a pretty cool car chase like in an alley, and Jackie Chan is being chased by this Nissan truck.
Oh, yeah, he has to jump over. Yeah,
and so he jumps over it, he breaks the glass, and he beats up the two guys in the passenger and the driver's seat. And that was a pretty cool like scene. So I think overall, like that one scene in the movie is like my favorite scene aside from like the final fight, because in this one there wasn't really like a lot of like spectacular fight scenes like in the first one, but it's still a pretty good movie. I still really like it. And I forgot to give a rating for Police Story 1. So I'm going to give my ratings for both Police Stories. For Police Story 1, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10, just because there were some things that didn't quite age well for me in that movie, even though it's still like a fun watch. Police Story 2, I thought was much more focused and a lot more consistent in terms of tone. But I just wish that Police Story 2 maybe had more spectacular fight scenes like the first one. But still a solid movie. So I give Police Story 1 a 6 out of 10, and I'll give Police Story 2 a 7 out of 10.
For me, for my rating, I'll give 6 out of 10 for the first one.
Sure.
And for the second one, for me, I was really like in between like certain things.
Go with your heart.
For me, I'll go with a 7 as well.
Yeah, I think a 7 out of 10 is a fair one for Police Story 2.
Yeah.
But I will say this, watching these two movies made me realize that Police Story 3, Super Cop, is the best out of all of these movies. Because I also saw Super Cop when I was young, and thinking about it now, I remember so much more from Police Story 3, and I love so much more from Police Story 3 that I think Police Story 3 Super Cop is the best one. Also honorable mention to Police Story 4 First Strike. But also, like, I forgot to also mention that Police Story, well, all of the police stories have kind of like a weird sort of like release, because Police Story 1 and 2 were only released on video in the United States, and both of them were dubbed in English. Police Story 3 was also released in the United States, but Police Story 3 actually got a theatrical release. So it was released in theaters through New Line Cinema. And also at the time, Jackie Chan, his popularity around the world was rising. So it makes sense that that New Line would release his movie in theaters. And it also, I think also Super Cop also introduced the United States to actress Michelle Yeoh. And Michelle Yeoh recently, I think last year or this year, she won an Oscar for her movie Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, I saw that movie.
Yeah, and so the main character in that movie, the mom, she's played by Michelle Yeoh, and she was Jackie Chan's co-star in Police Story 3 Super Cop.
Really?
Yeah, so and I think that was like the first time American audiences got to see her. So it's a really interesting journey that actress went through.
Have you seen that movie by chance?
Everything Everywhere All at Once? Yes. I was working in a movie theater at the time, so I got to see it for free.
But do you heard the dialogue and all of it, or do you just...
Yeah, I got to see it. Like I went like when I'm on one of my days off. I saw that and Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness at the same night.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I did a double feature that night.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, so I got to see it. It was really cool. And yeah, so yeah, Jackie Chan. And then after like, you know, Super Cop, First Strike, Rumble in the Bronx, he really like breaks through to American audiences with Rush Hour. And
Rush Hour, then Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, Rush Hour, Kung Fu Panda, and then actually, most recent. Yeah.
Fun fact on Kung Fu Panda, before Kung Fu Panda was being created, Jackie Chan talked to Jack Black, saying, "Whatever movie you wanna do, I'll do it with you." And that's how Kung Fu Panda came to be.
He knows how to make friends in Hollywood, because I also remember that he was friends with Sylvester Stallone, the star of the Rocky movies.
Yeah.
And actually, Sylvester Stallone pays homage to Police Story 1 in one of his movies. In the movie Tango and Cash, Sylvester Stallone plays a police detective. And early in the movie, Sylvester Stallone stops these two criminals who are riding in a big semi truck, and he stops them similar to how like Jackie Chan stopped the bus of villains at the beginning of Police Story 1. So Sylvester Stallone paid homage to his friend. And actually, I think Sylvester Stallone wanted Jackie Chan to play the villain in his movie Demolition Man. Although Jackie Chan didn't play that villain character in that movie. It was played by Wesley Snipes instead. And yeah, so Jackie Chan has like a lot of famous friends. Like I remember, speaking of Rush Hour, there was an interview that Chris Tucker did on one of these late night talk shows, and he talks about like this one time that he and his son went over to China, and they went to like surprise Jackie Chan for a visit. And Jackie Chan was like telling Chris Tucker, "Chris, what are you doing here?" And Chris Tucker's like, "Man, you're the only person I know in China." And I also remember, and also talking about one more thing about Rush Hour. Rush Hour was kind of like Jackie Chan's like first like big Hollywood movie that wasn't made by a Hong Kong studio. And so when he first met Chris Tucker, and if you know who Chris Tucker is, he's like a fast-talking comedian.
Yes, he's really fast, like speaking really quick.
Yeah, and so when they first met, Chris Tucker was just going off and off, just talking about this, that, and the other thing. And Jackie Chan was just like sitting there, like he was like, yes. And then Chris Tucker starts to get worried, and he asks the director, Brett Ratner, "Hey, is Jackie gonna be able to do the movie? Like does he even speak English?"
Yeah, I seen that podcast, that review of him.
Yeah,
it was talking like before they even started the movie. He said that, "Does this guy is gonna be able to do the movie? Does he speak English?" And they even made a little joke in one of the scenes, like, "English, do you understand me?"
Yeah, and that's the inspiration of that scene.
Yeah,
and it's really cool. Just to wrap up, what are some of your favorite Jackie Chan like performances or appearances in movies?
In movies,
like
Karate Kid.
What, Karate Kid?
Yes.
Oh man, I haven't seen that one in a long time.
Yeah, when he grabbed the fly with the chopsticks.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen that one. I actually one movie that I didn't expect him to be pretty good at was the Ninja Turtles movie because he played the new Master
the Ninja
Splinter.
Turtle. Yeah, the Master Splinter. I forgot he was the voice actor for that.
And in that movie, Jackie Chan was allowed to be more emotional than he usually is.
Ah, yes. I really like the Kung Fu Panda series season. That's Monkey.
Monkey.
Yeah, I really like it, and I'm happy he's coming back for the fourth movie that's coming out.
Yeah. Also, like, and did you know this? Did you know that Jackie Chan did not voice himself in Jackie Chan Adventures? He was voiced by a different voice actor in the cartoon.
Really? Oh, I love that cartoon so much. I thought it was actually him.
So it wasn't him. So in the cartoon, he's voiced by voice actor James Tsai. But if you remember that show, at the end of the episodes, they would always show like footage of Jackie Chan, like, I don't know, like
doing the
practicing.
fighting. Yeah,
practicing in like a dojo or something. And then someone off camera would ask him like a question sent in from a viewer. And so that was actually Jackie Chan. And Jackie Chan, I'm pretty sure, was like an executive producer, and they probably paid him a shit ton of money to use his likeness in the cartoon. But he was played by actor James Tsai in the actual cartoon.
I love that cartoon. I want to walk back and watch it now. Can we go watch that for an episode?
We can. We just have to find we just find where it has to, where it's streaming, or if we can buy it somewhere.
Oh, that would be good to go back and watch that. That's like childhood memories right there. Nostalgia's gonna kick.
Oh, also one thing. Remember that Nickelodeon did an adaptation of Kung Fu Panda for their channel? And they had Kung Fu Panda Legends of Awesomeness. So in that show, Monkey is also a character, and Monkey is also voiced by James Tsai. So that's 2 times that voice actor James Tsai portrayed a character played by Jackie Chan, essentially.
Oh my God, that's so cool. I love it.
Yeah, and Jackie Chan's pretty great. Like, he was really big, like, in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Oh, if you, I don't know if you heard this. Sorry for interrupting.
No,
there was
ahead.
a lot of famous people that goes to Hong Kong to go meet with Jackie Chan, and the first time going everywhere, everyone always talks about Jackie Chan in his movies and everything. Like, every time they ask what you think about Jackie Chan, they always say, "Oh, Jackie Chan's a big guy in Hong Kong." Like, if you ask, I'm here to see Jackie Chan, everyone just goes like, "Oh, okay, give it one moment," and goes and finds Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan comes out walking with a bunch of people right behind him, and like, "Oh, hello." Hi, and like, "Hello, how you doing?" And like, everyone's like bowing down to him, like, and they're like, "Damn, he's like his own business over here."
Yeah, because I remember Chris Tucker, when he went to go visit Jackie Chan was like, "You like hotel? This is my hotel."
Yes, I was about to mention that too. like everyone that meets Jackie Chan, like, goes to a certain place, everyone knows who Jackie Chan is.
It really seems that Jackie Chan is a very larger than life type of person.
Exactly. Like, in here in the States, he's like just a normal voice actor or
just like a Hollywood star.
Just a very regular Hollywood star. But if you go to his home turf, he's a whole different person, man.
Yeah, like it seems like in Hong Kong and in China in general, they really love like their stars. Because I remember, like, and this is Bruce Lee, not Jackie Chan. Bruce Lee, before like he became like famous for movies, he did a show here in America called The Green Hornet, and he played the sidekick Kato.
Oh.
And in China, when they dubbed the show for Chinese audiences, they didn't call it the Green Hornet. They called it the Kato Show, because Bruce Lee was more of a star there than the guy who played Green Hornet. But yeah, they really love their stars. And, I think Jackie Chan is probably like the biggest star that they got over there. But yeah, what else? I wanted to mention something. Oh, the thing about his stunts. Have you ever seen that meme, that Jackie Chan meme, where like people are like posting like pictures of stars with their stunts, with their stunt doubles? And it's like Chris Hemsworth, or it's Chris Evans, Ryan Reynolds, or Hugh Jackman, and then at the last picture it's Jackie Chan, and Jackie Chan's all by himself.
Yeah, because he does his own stunts himself.
Yeah, and it's him and Tom Cruise are like the only 2 stars that I know who would actually risk their lives to perform their own stunts. And it works, because I think one of the things why people love Jackie Chan so much is because he does his own stunts. And also, like, Tom Cruise, every time he releases a Mission Impossible movie, it's always like, oh, let's go see Tom Cruise nearly kill himself for 2.5 hours.
I know, it's just him doing the actual stunts.
Yeah.
And that's scary as fuck.
Especially like whenever he's like hanging on like a helicopter or like a plane. Did you ever see that one shot in Mission Impossible 5 where like Tom Cruise is just hanging on by the door of a plane and the plane is actually taking off? There's no CG in any of that. There's no CG. And it's like, oh my God, these fucking guys, just to make money at the box office, they have to risk their fucking lives. And both Jackie Chan and what's his face, Tom Cruise, they're over 50 years old. How long can these fucking guys keep it up?
As long as it keeps going.
Well, with Jackie Chan, like a lot of the things that I've seen him recently is like a lot of voice work, like, you know, Monkey, Master Splinter. He was even in that Ninjago movie, that Lego Ninjago movie that came out like, I don't know, 6 years ago or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean that's pretty much it for our episode. So my lovely co-host, tell the lovely audience what we're going to be watching next episode.
Next episode, we're watching the internet sensations way back. I think I don't remember around the 2000s of the company Rooster Teeth.
Rooster Teeth.
Rooster Teeth.
Why do you keep calling it Rooster Teeth? There's no teen. There's teeth.
I know, but it just goes with it.
Go on. Tell the people.
We're watching Red versus Blue, the internet sensation that got them to where they are today, and they made all their shows.
Not O'Malley.
Yes. So next podcast we'll be talking about that.
Excellent. So stay tuned for that one. And also, my lovely co-host, tell the lovely people where they can find you on the internet.
Currently, you can find me at Twitch. I'll be streaming throughout the weekend. And also on Monday, again, I would like to say this once more. This is the last time I'm going to mention it. My name will be changing, but my current name right now is under Dragon 9074. You can find me at Twitch, Twitch TV/Dragon 9074. But my name will be changing very soon once I figure out a good name for it and someone doesn't have it. Because the name I currently have it from the last podcast, someone else had it. So now I have to think of another one. I have to think of another one now. Jesus Christ. This is so hard just to name yourself. So hopefully in the next podcast I have a new name. Hopefully.
Creep.
So yeah, you can find me there on Twitch.
Okay, and also you can follow us on our social medias in both the audio and the video version of this podcast. I'm going to include the social medias down in the description. So give us a like, give us a comment, subscribe. Also, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You know, help us reach out to other people. So thanks for joining us today for our review of Police Story 1 and 2. As always, I'm your humble host, Jack. And say goodnight to the people, my lovely co-host.
Good night, everybody. Have a nice rest of your day. Is it morning, afternoon, or night when you're watching us? Have a wonderful rest of your day.
All right. That's a cut.
That's a cut.